So I'll begin the recording, and then as you start drifting off, you'll stay conscious listening to my voice, but your bodies will start to go into the dream state, or the sleep state, or the trance state. This is normal, natural. You do it every night anyway. I mean, think about it. All your lives, you've been going out of your body every night and not bringing any awareness of it back to your body on Earth. Shame on you. Your poor
Yes,
body on Earth doesn't know squat.
you're right.
It's got to know stuff, you know. It's to help you to cooperate. It's not the knower. You are. The spherical being you are is the soul or the Atma. That's the knower. That's what you've always been. That's what you'll always be. You've never been a body. You've run billions of them. So no big deal. Now, in normal worlds, like the one we're going to, people know this stuff. They grow up with it. They don't have to figure it out and think about it and have doubt and fear and all this stuff. Earth is the problematic planet in the galaxy right now. How can I say that? What am I saying? Earth is what? Not only not evolved, it's the most problem-filled planet in the galaxy? Just about, yeah. I would
Yeah.
not want to be on a reptilian world, or a gray world, but I can tell you they're changing as we speak anyway. So they're not like they used to be. There's no one coming here to attack Earth. No giant cockroaches and spaceships like you see in movies. Nobody's ever threatened Earth, even though ships from other worlds have been shot at by our own fear-driven militaries. They've never retaliated. It should be obvious to people that have half an ounce of awakeness that they're not a threat, or we'd all be taken over a long time ago, easily, quickly, efficiently. But people don't understand common sense down here. They're too riddled with fear. Fear of the future, fear of the present, fear of extraterrestrials, good and bad. Government's good and bad, religion's good and bad, and they're all just stuffed full of this stuff growing up on this planet. The atmosphere is full of it. This is why we go outside of Earth's atmosphere to play in the hue. That way we're not getting the same junk spun through us. People charge tens of thousands, even millions of dollars to be motivational speakers to corporations. And those people pay that. And they get all fired up emotionally, and they get nothing out of it. Literally, they don't change. Might inspire somebody to be successful or make more money or something, but that's not going to liberate them from this trap here. So this work has never been based on, making and charging a lot of money to do it. It would be like being like everybody else, and I wouldn't even know what I knew or what I know now if I did that. So a lot of money can be made through this work, but then it has to be put to good use for the transformation of the planet. Otherwise, money is worthless. Lifetimes are worthless in a way. If we don't creatively cooperate with the source while we're living on these worlds. Planet Earth, we should have all been custodians and caretakers of it. Everybody knows it down deep. They're so riddled with habit of slaughtering and eating and killing each other and animals all day, every day, they can't possibly step outside of that darkness. So they're just justify it, they just accept it as God's will and move on. They think they're moving on, but they're not. They're not moving on at all. They're just stuck in belief without knowing. It's not fair, it's not honest. In fact, I'd have to say that most of the things on this planet, political and religious, are motivated by the almighty dollar or by money. And this can't be blamed on these people. They grew up that way. The kings were like that before them. It's been carried down through this planet for millions of years, not tens of thousands. So this planet, as beautiful as it is, needs to do a lot of catch up with the rest of the universe. People pray to God all day long and ask for this and ask for that, but they don't dare imagine what's actually out in the heaven they think they're going to when their body dies. They don't dare do that. They're afraid of the source behind all life, that it's a vengeful God, and if you don't do what's just right, why, you get the big axe. So this is a problem with people on Earth, and it's a massive problem. We see it in the wars and the things going on the planet coming to an end, or having to be forced to do things that if we didn't do otherwise, nuclear bombs would be going off on this planet from radical nut jobs that don't know any better, make decisions based on their own fear. This is the way planet Earth has been. It's been that way all of our lives. It is not normal. It is not natural. But it does seem like that to everyone, doesn't it? Down deep, we all know it isn't. So one of the things these journeys actually accomplish is helping you recover your awareness of all this that you could not get to on your own because of subconscious fear. So you get some help from, how unusual, from off-world, from beyond Earth, because you can't get it in Earth's atmosphere from anybody here that I've ever met or seen. They don't know it. Film industry doesn't know it. Political leaders don't know it. Religious leaders don't know it. Gurus from India and Tibet don't know it. They know some of it. And those that really know don't talk about it. You'll never meet them. They know better than to expose themselves to such people. They get killed or fought over, etc. So I don't blame anybody on Earth the way they are, because I know what was done to them. And it wasn't pretty. And they have a terrible time, just like all of you did, even thinking about looking at it objectively, even when it can't hurt you anymore. The fear is so strong. People don't want to remember any lives they've had anywhere else, because they were great and wonderful, but they also came to an end sometimes abruptly, unexpectedly, or naturally. But there's been so many of them. The human body and brain can't handle the fear of possible destruction when you review other lives, because your body, if it gets some of that and you don't feed it that information, if you don't give it that enlightenment properly, then it's going to react defensively to protect itself. And if you think you're a body, the Atma is giving it energy to be defensive in this way and know nothing. That's the problem. So Telemadia is a good journey we can go on. And I don't know who on earth will hear this journey. It's in English. It's already been in English and Thai in its own way. This journey will go on, will be similar but unique in itself. When your body goes into the trance state called sleep, listening to my voice, it's not me doing it to you. I don't invade the privacy of your thoughts or the sanctuary of the Atma you are. We're telepathically connected through the pure you. I don't have to do that. There's no secrets hidden, nor needing to be hidden between us in the omnipresent hue expansion ray. This hue expansion ray is what people pray to and call divine spirit without knowing anything at all about it. It's a concept for them. It's some kind of abstract something, spirit something. But that isn't the way it works. That's not the way we're meant to know it. We're meant to co-creatively work consciously with it, with the source behind all life and all the masterful beings in between the source and here. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And that's what we're doing. Which means the hue expansion ray moves through me and those I work with through you to Earth's atmosphere. Not just for you, for the benefit of all life, to recharge its depleted atmospheric charge of the hue. It is depleted. That's why there's not enough energy per square inch on Earth in its water vapor, in its H2O, to get masses of people having the courage to step outside of the trap they're in. There's not enough energy to do it, basically. Enough to keep them alive and living like rocks. Walking around, living lives, glowing up, believing this, believing that, and dying, and coming back and doing it again. It's a good thing you don't remember all your lives. It'd be too much for your body, and your body would just stop working. Because they weren't all pretty. Most of them were more advanced than what you're living now. How can you handle that? See, that's the problem. You don't want to wake that up and get your body all mixed up in it, because you'll become very defensive. This is what people on earth do when somebody tries to liberate them or comes here to give them the truth of life beyond this world in the greater heavens. So they misunderstand all of it And if you don't play ball and water it down enough for them, they attack you and kill you, or fight you, or fight each other to defend their point of view, all of which means nothing. Literally doesn't mean anything. If people do not know, as individuals running human bodies, the greater source behind all life, or the energy of space right outside of Earth that is the hue itself, divine spirit, not molecular, not nuclear, not DNA, not atoms. It is the power, the single zero-point energy of the universe. It's an omnipresent living power. It is not an individual. No one can control it or own it or possess it any more than you can possess your body or the planet you walk on. It cannot be possessed. And the illusion people suffer through in life is that they think they possess and own the things they have, watching it slip from their fingers as they grow old or die suddenly. They can't take anything with them. And they don't learn anything from that. There's too much fear. So fear is artificial and implanted. Where did it get implanted? It wasn't just in this scenario with primary and secondary implants that you've been through. No, it goes far beyond that, far before that, and through all the planes below the void. It's a much bigger problem to solve than you might imagine. So part of these journeys are for us to help be part of the solution, which you are doing, instead of remaining part of the problem with the rest of your 8 billion people on Earth. They're not fixing or changing anything. They're perpetuating the same ultimately self-destructive outcome. So it has to be brought into Earth to set the stage for transformation. And that means most of the people on Earth have to be consciously involved in that at a specific time when a certain wave of the hue, when it's ready, moves through Earth's atmosphere and turns it all on, lights up the H2O. Then Earth can become normal. Its moon must be corrected. It is not normal. It's dead. It doesn't turn on its axis. It doesn't influence gravity properly. It doesn't turn on its axis. It doesn't have an atmosphere. It orbits the planet, creating imbalances in the H2O in people's bodies, which makes people emotionally unstable on Earth for the most part. This is the reason. Scientists on Earth do not know it. Astrophysicists do not know it. They don't even know how the asteroid field got to be where it is now in the orbit of a planet, circling the sun between Mars and Jupiter. They have no idea about any of it. They're still stunned to find out that the chunks that make up the 1.5-mile thick rings around the gas giant planet Saturn are water frozen in space. How did that get there? They orbit a gas giant. There's no H2O in that atmosphere of that planet. Now think about it. They haven't got a clue because they're too afraid to remember. They were probably involved even in some lifetime in one race or another in the Galactic Alliance, observing what happened, when Maldek was blown up. All of you were there one way or another. Maybe some of you were, some of you somewhere else in the galaxy, but it doesn't matter. Normal people on normal worlds grow up knowing their own history, and they know the history of the Galactic Alliance. They know the history of the galaxy and their own world systems. There's no blocks on any of that. They don't grow up like people on Earth with their PhDs, limiting their intelligence to matter they study with their eyes and ears and bodies on Earth, and that's as far as they go? What? That's absurd. They use 6 to 10% of their brain? It's 100% brain. Why is the rest of it not functioning? Think about this for a minute. They know this, they've measured it, but they don't understand that that's not normal. They're calling it and telling the people that it's normal. It's not. Why would any species evolve like human beings and only use 60% of 100% brain? It's stupid. It's ignorant. Ignorance not meaning that they're not intelligent means they ignore what's right in front of them in favor of keeping it simple enough to stay on Earth. That's the problem. People don't want to respect life between their neighbors, each other, or out in the universe. So they're kind of stuck in a little bitty hell, aren't they? Living out their lives on Earth, going around in circles because they cannot be trusted with the freedom other beings enjoy out in the universe. Think about what I just said. They cannot be trusted. So until they're repaired or until their fear is dropped, then when that's done, they can play in the universe. Earth will never be a spacefaring planetary system. No matter how many rockets they launch, they'll never be allowed to play among the stars until they can be trusted doing so. Pretty common sense. Naturally, the bodies go into the trance state called sleep because the Hue expansion ray flowing through me, to you, and through you doesn't come from me. I don't own it. I don't possess it. I don't grab onto it when it comes through me. I completely and freely and harmoniously cooperate with it. It's the only thing you can do with an omnipresent, single, living, conscious power. You can't fight it. It doesn't play games. You can't arbitrate with it. It won't work. It won't listen to you. It's waiting for us to wake up and cooperate. That's about it. Here's the thing. People are afraid that if they cooperate with the source behind all life, they're going to lose their individuality. That's just ego talking. That's just wanting to stay in the passions of the mind and enjoy their illusion that they possess and abuse life and each other. And that's just, well, sad. Because that's not why we exist at all. We exist to be conscious, trustworthy co-creators with the source behind all life. And if people don't know what that is, if all they can do is believe they'll go to some heaven when they die and then they'll be told the truth, they are suffering in a self-delusional state. Because there's no heaven that exists up above the physical universe that would ever permit people like they are on Earth to go there the way they are. Impossible. Can't be done. No one's going to save them the way they are. They have to be willing to change. And then there's lots of master teachers out there that can help them save themselves. That's really how it is. We're meant to be trustworthy adult spiritual beings, awake atmas, running bodies and knowing it. That's it. This is not new. This is ancient. When I send out the 5 views with my vocal cords, please do it with me silently in the sanctuary of your being. We are connecting ourselves to this vortex that is waiting for us in space. That vortex will go with us on this journey. Doesn't matter what dimension we're in or how far across the galaxy we go, it travels all above us, all the way there, and everywhere else. It is not grounded just to space above Earth. It is not limited by matter, time, and gravity in those different dimensions. It exists in them and through them, but can move through them like blowing on a piece of paper. They're just effortless, easy. The energy that comprises that hourglass-shaped vortex is not made, you can see it, but it's not made of matter, space and time, and the lower worlds of time and space. It is not made of, it's made of the space energy that is in space, that galaxies float in. But that's not nuclear, atomic, or DNA either. It's not atoms. There's no atoms in it. Atoms and atomic and nuclear energy, like the explosions on suns and stars, is part of the lower dimensions of time and space. It is not part of the vast space that surrounds all the little things that float in it, like billions of galaxies. This is the kind of thing that a child would know on Nerexlum, or Telemadia, or any of the billions of Galactic Alliance worlds and the Zintronamus Galactic Alliance worlds that make up the entire Milky Way Galaxy. The harmony is outside of Earth. It's not on Earth. Everybody outside of Earth is working together now. Earth has to take its place. Or, if they insist, burn up in a fireball and try it again. But remember this. Civilizations have come and gone on this planet in 65 million years. Nuclear wars happened here. It's not new. Nuclear weapons are not new. People didn't invent them in Nazi Germany. They didn't get brought here to the U.S. because all of that was technology snuck into Earth that people weren't ready for. They still aren't. Anybody that developed that technology would long ago have banned the use of it as weapons and gone into the more celestial use of it so they could be free in the universe and travel everywhere in ships and out of body like we're supposed to be doing. So I will send the hue out now and then we'll start the journey. This is for the benefit of everyone on this journey and everybody you know on Earth. Everybody you know in any country on Earth. This is universal. The hue only works one way. When you're up near the ceiling looking at your body, it's exactly the same thing you do when you simply imagine going to the store or driving down the street or walking a pet. You first imagine it before you go out the door with your pet. That's the way it works. So the ability to image where you want to go is taking place from the atma above the body, running it through the pineal gland, through the brain. And people on Earth don't have a clue. They don't. That is the atma that's doing the imagining, not their brain. The brain has no ability to imagine anything. There's nothing in those billions of brain cells that can, like a motion picture camera, project images onto other brain cells across the brain, like a movie screen. It's absurd. This is why people can imagine stuff they never even imagined or got taught on Earth. Movies that are out were imagined from people sitting down writing while they were looking into the past time track and out into the universe. They didn't even know they were doing that. They pride themselves that it came out of their genius little brains. It didn't. So when you're imagining going to the store, the very same process is involved as you imagining what your body looks like while you're up hovering near the ceiling as the Atma, looking down at it. Simple. Don't complicate it. Just do it. There's a sound moving through you, through the ceiling. It sounds like deep humming, almost like a rumbling thunder. Not frightening. Gentle, no lightning, and there's a pastel, faint, white golden light flowing down through the ceiling, right through the core of your being, and a Galactic Alliance couple is hovering to each side of you. There's a different couple assigned to each one of us. Satnam and Torellian are assigned to me for these journeys for now. Shantiel and Tontiel and Dantam and Lamtam are assigned to several of you, and other couples just like them, just as advanced, are assigned to the other two people here. They're simply here to go on the journey for their benefit and the benefit of all the people they know in the Galactic Alliance, and they're also here to help keep your subconscious fears and problems turned off about the present and future for this journey. The reason for that is to go into the you outside of Earth where there is no distortions, no positive, no negative, no atoms, no molecules, no good, no bad. And we go into the pure huge. And we plug ourselves into the pure hue. We're already one with it. We're already made of exactly the same thing as source energy. So this is natural and normal. You're projecting, each of you, a form about 36 in age looking, perfectly handsome if you're a male, perfectly beautiful if you're female. And this is a prototype form you've been able to project to each other to share who and what you are, your unique nature, same as Satnam does. Since the beginning, before you started playing with bodies in the lower worlds, this has been available to you. Because fears are turned off, you simply can do it. And so you look as fresh and vital and eternal in this physical appearing human form as the couple beside you do. They are out of their bodies. They are from the Galactic Alliance Emerald Star Cruiser stationed in the ice rings that orbit the planet Saturn right now. And if they weren't here, you could not go on these journeys. Subconscious stuff on Earth would prevent that. For now. Later on, this won't be a problem for you. There's a flow of this white golden light raining down through you, through your sleeping body, and out through the walls of your home. It is continuing to charge Earth's depleted atmosphere with the hue in the H2O. Remember, H2O combined makes water, but separate, they're gases. They're invisible. You can't grasp them in your hand. You put the two together and they form a substance that can store, or the hue can encircle it and be stored to those two first molecules. Normal worlds have their water systems charged. The vibration's so high in their atmosphere, people don't have subconscious minds. They don't get trapped. They don't lie. They don't cheat. They don't steal. And yet they've had to go into the universe with ships' defensive capabilities, you could call them weapons, to protect themselves from tyrants out in the universe at one time that threatened everything, just like they do on Earth today. That threat from space is no longer there. But in people on Earth, it's very much present in their subconscious brainwashing. Makes them act out of fear and make decisions out of fear. Fear is negative. It's artificial. It's only supposed to produce negative results, and that's exactly what it does. You don't get positive, constructive things out of fear, ever. So right now, whatever fears you may have are not on for this journey. They're turned off. This Galactic Alliance couple hovering beside you point upward, and we're instantly find ourselves in space, in a circle of beings, in this pure 36-year-old, handsome, beautiful forms we show each other, that are not made of destructive earth matter, or molecules, or DNA. The projection from the white core of the Atma you are, and this is as simple as it is. Terrellian standing 18 feet tall in the center of this circle because he serves voluntarily as the central focal point for these guided journeys. He knows how to keep us focused on the journey and keep you from wandering off into astral land, into the emotional and mental sidetracks of mindless entertainment. You want mindless entertainment? Go watch a movie in a theater. Some of those movies have real deep spiritual concepts in them, out-of-body stuff. And they've even shown that. Ascension, they've shown that. Stargate SG-1 had that. These were commercially successful projects on this planet, all over the world. They help prepare people to start to realize that they're living or can live in what they're seeing in these TV episodic journeys and feature films. No big deal. Trellian shows you the body form he had over 1 billion years ago. Not millions, not 100 million, 1 billion. That's 1,000 million. The universe and anti-gravitic ships and all of that, and mastery over genetic sciences was all done then. It's not new. The great gift of accepting life from beyond Earth out in the greater heavens that people worship, which are the other worlds, the other galaxies, the higher dimensions, they're going to have to embrace all of that one day or perish on this Earth. There isn't any alternative. We either grow up and move forward, or Earth will get repopulated by people that can. Now, since this is underway not to do that and to change the planet, think about the impossible task it would seem to us it would be to transform people as rigidly twisted and at each other's throats here, and against all life as they are, thinking they're good people before the Supreme Being. How do you fix that? Well, there's nobody on Earth that can do that. People on Earth are in Earth's atmosphere. They're not far enough out of it, connected to pure energy with no negative nature, to even contemplate pulling that off. It has to come from outside Earth. Because out there, they don't have the problems we have, and they know how to help us fix them. Trellian has his fist closed with his thumbs up, with a golden light about brighter than the one in space surrounding them, about 1 foot wide. Above him is this beautiful spherical Atma, and above them is Etta and Dren, their tails glowing, standing upright on their hind legs, big bulbous blue eyes, dark blue eyes, pale green skin, tails that glow like crystal opal in sunlight, little glow of golden light around their bodies, and they can fly through the air and levitate as they do in their real bodies that they have back on planet Oceania. Planet Oceania is on the other side of the galaxy as well. It is not in the physical dimension where Earth and its moon are. It's in the third higher parallel dimension of the physical universe. And there are many. Before we even get to what people call the astral plane. The universe isn't just the billions of galaxies people see with astronomical equipment today or satellites. It's multidimensionally layered. Do people so dumb on Earth that they really think that a God that created all this creates a monodimensional reality? That's just how they think. It's not the way the source works. We are atoms from the source, spherical. That's why Earth is round. That's why the suns are round. Galaxies are spread out, but they're full and comprised of round things, orbiting around the central axis, what they call a black hole. It's not a black hole. Human eyes just can't see it. Twin-stranded DNA, human eyes can't normally see the hue. The Atma, that when it's out of its body, as we are now, can see it clearly, plain as day. And it's not dark blue or black at all. It's a white golden light everywhere. It's such a light, so bright, and yet everything in it, stars and planets and galaxies, can be seen clearly, surrounded by a brighter light. It's hard to explain to human beings how this works, but it's because the Atma can differentiate between the two naturally. Up above Etta and Dren is Master Light C. Master Light C is here in his, well, it's a projection like the one you're projecting. It's not even his etheric body. He has a body, a transparent type of form, human-like, in the etheric plane. And he works there, and he works in the Hue Expansion Ray Academy above Satnam's realm in the big, massive, golden-sided quartz-capped pyramid that contains the Tree of Life. He is the master teacher, custodian, and caretaker of that facility. He chooses to be here. Nobody makes him do it. Master Ramu is standing right on the same level with us toward Earth around Terrellian. With his quartz crystal inch-wide thick staff glowing with golden light with the Ankh symbol on top of it, a symbol for eternity, a cross with an upward vertical oval hole in it. It's really the sign for eternity or infinity. That's that oval hole on top of the cross. The cross represents that it comes down through this opening, out through the cross in every direction, down through the bottom of it, and everywhere. And it is a tool, a symbol that he uses and carries with him even when he's out of his body. Big, beautiful Atma hovering above the maroon-colored robe, swarthy, dark brown skin, coal-black eyes, short-cropped beard and hair. He has a body on Earth, an immortalized form. It is not on Earth in the Himalayas. It's in the Himalayas in the third higher parallel dimension, where a different Earth exists than the one you know of. It's still in the physical universe. And Pelham, from the planet Oceania, where Etta comes from, is standing opposite Terrellian and Master Ramu out in space, further to my right. I'm in the circle with all of you. Standing 6 foot tall with jet black shiny hair to his shoulders, emerald green eyes slightly larger than Earth human, slightly pointed ears like an elf, pale blue skin. He's wearing a Galactic Alliance uniform because he can. So you can recognize him. Blue-gray single form-fitting suit with a Galactic Alliance symbol on the right chest area. That is a silvery golden galaxy with a big pyramid hovering above the bulge of the apex, golden, quartz-capped, with 3 cobalt blue stars hovering above the top of the pyramid in a triangular pattern. He holds up his hands, and you can see little webs between his fingers. Under his neck, way back at the side, like 3 parallel slits that you would not see unless he lifted his neck. This is a human species, 4-stranded DNA that can breathe underwater or on land. This is the same planet where the Drens evolved in huge natural ecosystems, in emptied-out volcanic shafts at the bottom of that ocean. The Drens evolved there. They're silica-based. There's many crystalline growths in that environment. You would not imagine. Couldn't even picture on Earth. So their body forms are silica-based DNA, not carbon-based. And so they have a natural crystalline structure in their cells that allows them to charge their tail and levitate and fly around. It's an antigravitic type of thing. And they're an organic, physical species. You see above Etta and Dren, beautiful, bright Atmas. They're master teachers. The Galactic Alliance couple assigned to each of you is still standing beside you in the form you show them, that they show you. And all 3 of you are hovering above those forms. Higher above Light C is Satnam, observing us, looking to see if we are emanating the qualities necessary to become co-creators finally. There's the U expansion ray, which makes it possible for this to happen, whereas otherwise it may not happen for any of you for another billion years. Hovering to each side of him are 2 couples, Galactic Alliance. They're not Galactic Alliance, they're silent mentors. Male, female on the left, then male, female on the right, alternating. Different full pastel gown on each of them of a different color of the spectrum of light. Long hair to their shoulders, each one a different color. Each one has a different skin color. Hovering above them is this massive Atmas they are that's 4 times wider in diameter than us and twice as many teardrop-shaped layers, twice as many blends of subtle colors of the spectrum of light than we have. They are the mechanics of creation. They maintain the entire multidimensional universe, keep it running, man the doorways, the portals between dimensions. This is what they do. Above Satnam is this hourglass-shaped, massive, slowly whirling clockwise, golden white, luminous vortex. There's a pastel golden white light flowing down through the opening, through Satnam, through the silent mentors, through Light Sea, through Etta and Din, through Turelian, out his fists, and out around us, creating an oval, transparent, white golden light like the hull of a spaceship. Because we're going to be going in this celestial spaceship wherever we go on this journey. The energy that makes this hull around us like this comes from above the void. It has no negative nature. It cannot be penetrated or influenced by anything or anyone in the lower worlds of time and space. We are very fortunate. Turelian lifts one of his hands up. His thumbs are still up. And he points up in space between the Earth and the Moon. The Moon, as you can see, is barren. Meteor craters, pockmarked. Doesn't turn on its axis as it orbits the Earth. Broken, literally. Not working correctly. So that has to be fixed. And we suddenly find ourselves high up above the entire Milky Way Galaxy, looking down on the entire spiral nebula galaxy that it is. And you see off way in the distance, not that far away, but a slightly bigger spiral galaxy we call Andromeda, otherwise known as Cepharis, the distant wonder, by the Galactic Alliance Council. In that galaxy, they're known by several names. Cepharis is one of them, and Cholanta, and there are others. Then you look down on the other side of the galaxy, you see several spiral arms of stars. We're out 2/3 in one of the spiral arms, and we're going to the 7th spiral arm on the upper side of the galaxy. We suddenly find ourselves hovering above a world 2/3 of the way along the length of that spiral arm. And the first thing you notice is that the atmosphere is glowing. The blue oceans are glowing. They're calm. 6 continents on this planet. It's bigger than Earth. But it looks just like Earth in many ways. Same kind of air and several moons orbiting it. Also no polar ice caps. And a binary star system. 2 suns, big blue one, big yellow one, a little smaller. So they orbit a binary star system. You're looking at the planet Telemadia. My first journey into this galaxy was there as the leader of that world over 1 billion years ago. Then they could levitate and fly through the air. We're going to visit it in present time as it is now. As we move down through the atmosphere, you can see that the individual water vapor in the clouds are glowing. We pass through it and we come to see, as we approach like 50,000 feet up, we start seeing people below us, moving left and right in different patterns across the surface of the atmosphere of this planet. They are levitating, standing straight up, talking, casually moving along, not at super high speed, just having a good time, with a spherical atma hovering above every one of them. Their bodies have a pastel golden light glow around them, an oval light. They've developed the four-stranded DNA, but they've developed the ability to levitate and fly through the air. So you begin to see like traffic lights are floating in the air. People pay attention to them. There's cross traffic just like you'd have on the ground. But these are telepathic beings. They don't bump into each other. There's no traffic accidents. And you suddenly see a couple. And each one of you suddenly move over out of the circle of beings around Terrellian and hover beside a couple. They smile at you. They see the atma above the form you're showing them. And you just simply move along beside them, levitating. There's an oval golden light around your body, and you're simply breathing and moving through their calm atmosphere to experience how they live. They are using an actual physical body. You are projecting a non-physical body that looks human, well-dressed. They see that. They can reach out and shake your hand and fill your hand. So you're just getting the experience of something you once knew a long time ago. And then a group of them, turn downward and move down through the atmosphere towards the central continent of 6, no polar ice caps. And we're going down to the center of 1 over the equator. The ocean water around this world is luminous and calm worldwide. It's blue. The glowing blue light is pretty breathtaking. The sound of a high note of a flute is with us always, coming from the energy that's moving through us, from source. We come down to this dome city, big dome cities, because this is where they started. Spread out from here to the rest of the Galactic Alliance over 1 billion years ago. The Sayrays were most definitely involved in bringing that technology to fruition on this and other worlds. They did this over 1 billion years ago. And Terrellian suddenly moves out of our group. We're still in a circle. And he walks up to a being you see manifested, standing in a clearing of mile-high gigantic trees. There's a big dome covering a pyramidal city, and it's not crowded like a metropolis. He's on a blue, luminous path. The grass is 4 feet high, violet, almost lavender violet colored, glowing. The trees around him are a mile high. They look like giant redwoods, massive, with big palm fronds on the tops that spread out in link with each other. And from up in space where you suddenly find yourself, you can look down and see that the palm fronds of this massive equator belt of forest that surrounds this planet on each continent are connected together. Sendar's homeworld, when he was a kid, had these trees on it before a meteoric bombardment destroyed life on that world. Now you can imagine where those trees came from. They came from here. So this is the one place in existence in our Milky Way Galaxy that has these massive trees. The hue runs up the energy of the sap of the trees. The trees have needles and leaves, broad spoon-shaped leaves that glow. They have domes, homes built into these massive branches, connected by triangular clear walkways, spiraling up like a Christmas tree into these huge, massive trees. People levitate around in and out of those domes from any level. This being is about 7 feet tall, ivory-colored skin with a slight lavender tinge to it, kind of luminous. Emerald green eyes, slightly pointed ears. There's a Galactic Alliance symbol on a uniform he's wearing, like Opellum wears. Terrellian's 18 feet tall form and this guy's 7 foot tall form reach out and they touch their forefingers. Terrellian's forefinger is bigger than this guy's whole body. but they touched like long-lost committed brothers. And this being nods his head in respect to Terrellian. He knows who he is. This being's name is Norman Wall. Norman Wall. It's all one word, Norman Wall. Then he begins to tell all of us telepathically that are here in this journey that this planet and its people were levitating like this over 1 billion years ago. He looks at me and nods respectfully. He knows I was a ruler here that long ago. Not now. And he tells you the forms that are human here are 4-stranded DNA, and they have immortalized bodies, like Terrellian. 1 billion years ago, people lived for many, many thousands of years without aging on this world. 1 billion years ago. So don't think any of that is new in creation. It's not. He welcomes you to Telemadia. And then we find ourselves in space around Terrellian. And up above us is this hourglass-shaped vortex that came with us here across the galaxy from space near Earth. It's still there, revolving clockwise, has a blue-green luminous light around it in 2 layers like water. Looks like water, but it's not. And it connects beyond and through the lower worlds of the astral, causal, mental, and etheric and touches into the void. Then it goes up into Satnam's realm, up portals, and into the Hugh Expansion Ray Academy. And then it continues upward all the way to Agam Purusha's realm and into the source itself. That means we are experiencing energy on this journey that comes from the source where we originally came from. And we suddenly find ourselves with this vortex above us in space on another spiral arm of the galaxy, about 2/3 of the way out it, hovering above the planet Oceania. Master Opellum is now standing outside the circle, pointing to it. It has no polarized X, 4 times bigger than Earth. 3 moons the size of Earth orbiting it, trinary star system, 3 suns, mostly water-covered, luminous blue, slightly tinged green, beautiful, glowing, calm oceans. Surround 3 or 4, I think it's just 3, volcanic islands, or they were volcanic, that are around the equator of this world. We find ourselves all standing on glowing golden beach sand, luminous. The atmosphere is glowing. The water is glowing. There are domes in this jungle. Trees are massive, beautiful, glowing. The domes go off into the distance of this island in triangular patterns. 3 golden-sided quartz-capped pyramids in each one surrounding a fountain. The fountain's in the center, and they're in the background, sorry. And they surround a long, lower to the ground, oval ivory dome laboratory building, basically. And Opellum's standing on the beach with his hand up. And he points to the ocean water. And Etta did come out of the circle around us and fly up above the body forms that are hovering beside Master Opellum. And they move that perfect form they show us right into it. And the Atmas, they are hovering above those forms. The Atma hovering above Opellum is quite large and quite beautiful. Then those 2 merge into one. All 3 Atmas blend into one larger Atma presence, all 3 individuals. And it jumps down, literally leaps down into the ocean. We're in a group around Terrellian. We follow. We go miles down below to the bottom of the Oceanic Ocean and see another domed city with the same pyramids at the bottom, connected by spherical, cylindrical, clear, luminous blue transport tubes that link different cities in pyramid patterns along the ocean floor. And to the left of this big dome city is a huge volcanic cylindrical chute, something that lava was sent through millions of years ago. It went upwards up and built this mountain which formed the islands. Etta and Dren are now hovering over a semi-spherical clear dome. It's a window that looks to the dome city. From the hollowed out interior of the chamber, which is miles long and quite high, that's a self-contained ecosystem, Etta and Dren's home. We find ourselves on a blue stone pathway, with Etta and Dren hovering in front of us as guests. We're guests. In the distance, you see a beautiful blue-green waterfall pouring out of a cavern opening. It cascades down multiple tiers and dumps into a long, blue-green, oval, luminous lake that's many miles long. We're at the back end of this cavernous interior, and we see a curved back wall. And there are semi-spherical curved clear openings all over that wall, and massive, gigantic crystalline growths. Emeralds, rubies, sapphires, every kind of diamonds everywhere. Stones you can't even imagine grow here. These are individual dome or semi-spherical dome window, like living room windows. This is the Dren city of On. And Etta says, "Welcome to my home." This is the Dren city of On. We find ourselves in space above Oceania, moving upward in a oval light around Terrellian, following Satnam and the two couples of silent mentors that disappear up inside this vortex. We disappear up inside it, and we come out the other end. We are in a massive, forever, cobalt blue, luminous space. This is the void, and we're moving upward at tremendous speed, like an overhaul of a spaceship surrounding us, glowing and pulsing as we move upward. And we come to a beach far up at the other end of the void. And it's a diamond-like luminous beach, bigger than anything on Earth. It curves as far to the left and right as you can see. And it curves inward as if it surrounds a circular landmass, which it does. And Satnam is hovering above the beach, and now we are. Terrellian standing offshore up to his knees in what looks like ocean water. But it's the cobalt blue space of the void. It's just mock-up. He just likes to enjoy it this way. He's got his two thumbs up with his closed fists. And then we're all hovering above the top of these massive, transparent jungle trees. Every kind of variety you can imagine on Earth, and many more not on Earth. Birds with long V-shaped tails with rainbow-colored feathers perfectly blended, about a foot long, look like a blue jay. Twin sets of bird wings, like a dragonfly, I suppose. Hovering there like a hummingbird. Male and female. They come up out of the trees, and above each one of them is hovering an Atma. 4 times more deep in diameter than us. Twice as many teardrop-shaped layers. And a couple hovers up beside you, right in front of the face you're showing of this perfect body form you present to others. The Atma you are is hovering above the form. And they open their little beaks and they start singing with their beautiful big blue eyes. The hue comes out of their mouths. It can't be described. Millions of men and women's voices singing in perfect harmony are collectively maintaining and manifesting the void. That's what they do. The sound that they're putting out is moving right through the core of our being, the white core, vibrating it, and making the physical form you show to each other brighter. And they vanish back in the trees. And we move over the top of the jungles. In the distance, you can see a long diagonal blue stone snow-covered mountain range. And down below us is a circular clearing, 100-foot in diameter, flat, disc-shaped rock stone floor. There's a fountain made of a scalloped white stone like marble, and there's a statue of Satnam standing in it. Same as him hovering beside it, pointing to it, the Atma hovering above him. A shaft of white golden light coming down into the head of the statue is pouring down through the open palms, held at his sides, facing forward, into this bowl, filling it with this luminous golden white light that's pouring over the outer scalloped edge and disappearing down beneath a surrounding donut-shaped stone white sitting seat with 12 intricately carved stone legs. There are 12 golden cups on 12 hooks at the outer edge of this scalloped fountain. In the distance, over the countryside and upper plateau, you can see golden steps a foot thick leading up to 2 huge blue lapis lazuli gold-laced stones holding up a square, pyramid-shaped, golden-sided, quartz-capped roof. The bottom of it is a blue crystalline stone type of quartz, smoothly polished, rounded edges chair, like a throne chair. 3 or 4 steps up on a kind of a pedestal platform you can walk up. Satnam, this is a device. There's a golden white light coming down into it from above the quartz apex. It comes from source. Behind this chair is a 15-foot high triangular opening to the base of the mountain behind it. We see a massive fir tree shaped blue-green fountain moving light or water like light up and down it, surrounded by a cylinder of white golden light. It's a blue scalloped fountain, 30 feet across, and it's a doorway. But first, I want to go up above this Atma plane and look down on this vast circular landmass. You can see in the distance that there are curved sections, perfectly lined, around the outside of this landmass. It has different colored oceans of every spectrum of light of the rainbow surrounding it. The lands are continent size, rivers and mountain ranges and fields and plains and domes and towers and animals of every kind, humans of every kind represented here. This is where we come to learn how to respect all life by swapping bodies that form here. If there were a cow or a bird or an eagle, you would, for a time, a short time, run those forms. They would run yours. And then you swap back. This is how we learn how to respect all life in the Atma plane. Then we're suddenly beamed as a group around Terrellian up this cylinder of light above the statue of Satnam. It is a doorway. We come out the other end and we're in an even more brilliant cobalt blue space, looking at the distance of a single huge floating circular landmass, surrounded by this more brilliant cobalt space. It is not, there's no stars, no planets, no moons. They're not needed here. Everything, including all of us, produce its own light. And we are sent over the top of this massive landmass, across the top of a diamond-like white sand beach that surrounds the outer circumference. It's brighter than the one in Satnam's realm. There's a blue ocean wave, tinged with green, crashing gently, continuously on the left western shore. It moves continuously around the outer circumference in a circle, and it never stops. In the center of this landmass, we suddenly find ourselves looking at 6 snow-covered bluestone mountains in a circle around the Hue Expansion Ray Academy Tower, the administration tower. It comes out of the outer circumference of a disc-shaped white island surrounded by a blue-green donut-shaped lake, luminous. Its sides are transparent glass-like blue that come to a flat, 2/3 the way up to a flattened administration oval, up to a minaret point after that. And there's a big blue scalloped fountain in it. No statue of Satnam here. Then we find ourselves above and inside the shaft of white golden light that's coming from much higher reality, down into this tower. And we are compelled to gaze in every direction, north, south, east, and west. And you see at the base of these mountains, when you look down, horseshoe-shaped tunnels, luminous. White stone roads as straight as an arrow continue through this massive countryside all the way to the beach, like spokes from the hub of a bicycle tire. They continue all the way around the outer circumference through the countryside. On the western roadway, the first turn to the right is where Light C hangs his hat. Big clearing with a massive golden-sided quartz cap pyramid. The Tree of Life is in that one. We're not going there today. We are going to the northeastern quadrant. It's like looking at a pizza divided with a cross through it. North, south, east, and west. We're going to the northwest quadrant, west quadrant. We find ourselves hovering 2/3 the way down the middle road that goes between that quadrant, divides it exactly in the center, and we turn into a clearing. And in that clearing is a 4-foot in diameter blue glass-like sphere. There's a cobalt blue star gleaming in the center of it. It's hovering about a few feet above a circular stone white floor. A shaft of white golden light is coming down inside it. Turlian is now hovering in the center of that shaft, and we're hovering in a circle around him. In the outer circumference of this clearing are 12 massive trees. They look like giant weeping willow trees with broad spoon-shaped blue-green glowing leaves. Standing atop these trees, hovering there, are silent mentors, alternating male and female, all the way around the circumference. There are 12. Each one wears a different colored pastel gown of the spectrum of light. Each one has a different colored skin. Each one has long hair to their shoulders. Above each is hovering a 4 times wider Atma than we are, with twice as many teardrop-shaped faculties. These are silent mentors. A golden shaft of light is coming down the white core of each of them. It's passing down through the form they show us, right out of the face, because they have no facial features. It's just a white golden light. It's passing through each of you, the form you show each other, up into the white core of your being, and right into the white core of the Atma that is Terrellian, and up the shaft of light that comes down into this sphere, hovering above the center of this white stone floor. We are here to rub shoulders with silent mentors, briefly. The energy moves down through all 12, passes through each of you individually, and is beamed to Terrellian, actually above him, and goes up the shaft of light. Then it turns the other way and comes down through him, through all of you, up through the trees, up through the silent mentors, and out the tops of the Atma they are. And those 12 beams converge and connect to the great beam above this crystalline sphere. Then we're suddenly in space above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy Tower, looking up into this vortex, which is still above us. And around Terrellian, we are moved upward at tremendous speed. When we come out the other end, we are projected out into a infinitely vast, fiery realm. Orange and red and green and blue and violet and purple and every color you can imagine, swirling and coming out of there is no ground, flowing out of what would be a ground, whirling around us, going in every direction, disappearing. And out of the distance, a massive spherical Atma, bright white light, subtlety of the colors of the rainbow, hard to describe, approaches us. This is Agam Parusha. He is the master being who regulates the raw power of eternity here and then generates it down into different power levels, I should say, of the worlds and spaces below here. Down through the U Expansion Ray Academy, down through Satnam's realm, the void, etheric, mental, causal, astral, and down to the physical worlds. And he says to all of you, welcome, travelers. You have the courage to be here. Therefore, you are given permission to journey into the tree of life you see way beyond us, to go into the source behind all life. The sound of this flute increases in volume. We see a massive tree, miles high, branches the size of planets, just roots that go down into this fiery light, and it's a golden silver tree of light with the trunk transparent and luminous with gold light. And we're moving through this as a group of beings around Terrellian. And as we pass through each needle, each branch, every single needle on that tree and each branch represents a major area or individual planet or place in the multidimensional creation. This is the tree of life. We are shot up that trunk, and when we come out the other end, we are in an even more brilliant cobalt blue space. No tree, no planets, no suns, no stars. And in the distance, we see one thing here. Looks like a silver golden galaxy turning on its axis out in the deep center of this vast cobalt blue space. It's humming towards us. We are moving at tremendous speed toward it. As we pass through the outer layers of what we thought were stars, they are individual, brilliant, luminous atmas orbiting the center. As we pass between them as a group around Terrellian, we realize the distance between them is like two stars in space. We suddenly approach the interior, and we come out into a hollowed out interior third. There's a white disc-shaped floating island in the exact middle of it. Hovering above it is a massive, what looks like an atma, way bigger than all of us put together. Thousands of layers of teardrop-shaped lights and a brilliant white core. And as we start passing through this individual faculties of brilliance that each of these teardrop-shaped lights represent, they also appear to be as vast in distance like two stars in space. And then we're suddenly hovering with Terrellian in the very center of this white light. And we hear a deep baritone voice mixed with the celestial qualities of the feminine, hard to describe, speak to us. You are welcomed home again, to your true home in the Source, Prime Creator, sometimes referred to as the Ancient One. You realize here, truth cannot elude you. Here, the white core of your being is identical to the white core that is the Source, Prime Creator. You know you are made of exactly the same energy, and you are an individual drop in a mighty ocean. Now you must return, or your physical bodies all the way back down in the physical plane on planet Earth would perish. This place is too far removed from negative and positive energies. Be at peace. You're being developed into becoming something new. Something new as a co-creator with the source behind all life. Be at peace. And we find ourselves suddenly hovering above our bodies near the ceiling on Earth with this Galactic Alliance couple benevolently, kindly, happily radiating smiles at us. The white golden light we brought back with us from Source is moving down through us, through the ceiling, through your body, out through the walls, and into Earth's atmosphere. The Galactic Alliance couple smiles at you and vanishes, and you can see from here They're getting their bodies up out of egg-shaped white blue cushioned chairs on a blue carpet floor in a lounge area aboard the Emerald Star cruiser stationed in the ice rings of Saturn. It's over a mile long, cylindrical. And they put their right hand up, they see you all the way back near your ceiling on Earth, and that scene vanishes. The energy moving through us moves through your sleeping body, out through the walls, into Earth's atmosphere, charging it along the way, and then it enters 3 pyramids, not made of physical matter, stationed in 3 places on Earth, 2 at the bottom of Earth's deepest oceans, 1 at the bottom of the Atlantic, 1 at the bottom of the Pacific, 1 inside a hollowed-out interior in a mountain in the Himalayas. Then it's beamed out into space above Earth where they connect into a larger beam. That's beamed all the way to a much larger pyramid, golden-sided, quartz-capped, has a huge fountain in it. It's a device. It's floating stationary between 2 stable asteroids in the asteroid field between Mars and Jupiter. It was a planet called Maldek that was blown up a long time ago. That's how it got there. The distance is roughly twice the distance between Mars and Jupiter than between 2 other planets in the system. Planets revolve around their suns at very high speed. We'll just give an example of 55,000 miles an hour for Earth, for instance. If it's blown up, some chunks will hit other worlds, but generally the centripetal and centripetal forces of gravity from the sun and other worlds will cause it to spread out and continue in its high-speed journey until it forms into an asteroid field that orbits the sun where a planet once was. That energy is beamed from that pyramid to the central core axis of the Milky Way Galaxy, which is not a black hole. Human eyes just can't see it without instruments. And it's a white golden shaft of light that connects to other such galaxies and other realities and all the way back to source. The universe is a very ordered place. It goes right back to source where we just came from. So we've completed a circle. And we are back. When you're ready, awaken your body and open your eyes. I will ask you to turn on your microphones so we can have a little cordial, trustworthy little chat amongst each other. Now, I will bring this recording to a stop.